it's Lee from coloringqueen.net, and today I thought I'd colour in Twilight Garden. It's been a while since we've had a colour and chat, and so I thought Twilight Garden with my Polychromos because it seems right, seeing I reviewed the Polychromos, I don't know, a week or two ago, and I did the colour wheel for the Polychromos, I think it was last week. So it seems like a good time to use the Polychromos. And I think, other than testing in books, I think this is the first time I've ever coloured with the Polychromos on camera. I've coloured with them before off camera, but I think this is the first time in a colour and chat other than testing them in other books. So because I'm a little bit stressed out and I need to sort of focus and just return to earth, I'm a bit tense, I thought I'd just colour in blues in the blue colour family from the Polychromos. I'm just going to grab random blue pencils, and I find that this helps to relax me because I'm a little bit tense at the moment and have been for, I don't know, 2020. So just not having to think about colours and just colour in and just go with the blues. That's what I want to do at the moment. And it was also a colour challenge for myself. I had it set out as a list of challenges that I would do in 2020, and one of them was to just use one colour family. And when I wrote that challenge out, I figured that I was just going to use pink because that was what I felt like. But I don't know, today when I decided to do it, it was the blue that I gravitated towards, so who knows? Maybe I'll end up doing the pink one as well, I don't know. But I just hope that this helps focus in my brain a little bit and helps me feel a little bit more grounded, I guess, because 2020 has been hard. It's certainly been hard for David and I, and I'm sure it's been hard for many of you. I speak to many people via Messenger and email, and I know it's hard out there for so many people at the moment. But hopefully next year is going to be better, and at least we've got pretty pencils and beautiful books to colour in. Even if they're not the books that we've got on our wish list, I'm sure we've all still got beautiful things that we can colour. I know I haven't bought anything, and I won't be buying anything between now and Christmas. I do keep getting people message me and whatnot, asking me to review books and whatnot, but at the moment the post is really bad, and as most people know, I don't really accept books from people for review. I actually prefer to buy my own, and due to not having a job for over 2 years now, that's become harder and harder. So I basically have blown my budget for the whole year just by buying Clara's books and a few others, Kanokos and whatnot, that I knew were coming out. So I've been putting money aside just to buy those. So I'm glad I bought those, and less is more at the moment for me. I actually don't want any more books. I've got to get rid of some. I'm going to sell some on eBay that I no longer fancy, that just aren't me anymore. So because I've got no space, and I now sort of know which books I like and the ones that would break my heart if I didn't have them. So I actually really like to just have like 20 books or something like that, but that can't happen because I've got too many favourites, and I think even 200 I wouldn't be able to manage because I've just got so many favourites that I wouldn't be able to let go, but I am going to let go of some of them. So I don't know, how are you guys today? Did I ask? I can't remember. I hope you're doing well. I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning. It is getting so hot here in Brisbane of a morning that when David goes to work, I get up and I water the garden before it gets too hot. Today I noticed that poor David, he's been so busy with work and whatnot. He went to fill the pool up last night and he forgot to turn the hose off, so I hope it doesn't rain today, because the pool is, I noticed when I went to get the hose to water my garden that he'd left it on all night. The water is right to the top of the pool, so if it rains at all, it is going to overflow everywhere. And the poor little thing, you know, he's just so tired and so busy at work, which construction of all things is doing really well, so David is busy, which when he complains about work, I say, be grateful you've got a job to complain about, buddy. You know, I'd love to have a job to complain about at this point in time. So I've applied for all sorts of different jobs. I haven't heard anything back. And I've actually taken out all my qualifications out of my applications. So trying a new technique, because I got really frustrated with people telling me I'm overqualified and overexperienced. So now I've got a few different resumes that some have some qualifications on it, some have all, some don't. So we'll see if one of them works. I don't know. I'm personally quite over it, and if I won lotto, I'd just be like, no, that's it. I'm not looking for a job anymore. I always was one of those people that loved going to work, and if I won lotto, I'd still want to go to work, but now I'm like, no, not at all. So hopefully I'll get a lotto win, but I don't actually have a ticket, so it would be a miracle then if we won lotto without a ticket. Maybe I'll write that down on the to-do list. So do you guys buy lotto tickets? I know some of you are from some parts of the world where you have huge lotteries that are massive amounts of money, which always just seems like way too much money to me, because as well as not having enough money, sometimes it's a problem actually having too much money. People wanting things from you and all these friends and whatnot coming out of the woodwork, and I think it'd be very stressful actually to win a lot of money. Just enough for your needs, I think, would be enough, and to give some away to people that need it, or friends or family and charity, etc. But I wouldn't want too much money, just enough. Keep me in colouring pencils and papers, I guess. So I've been busy this morning. I got up at 5, I think I told you that, and I went and watered the garden before it got too hot, which by the time I finished, it was actually really hot and I had to put some sunscreen on, which I must make a mental note to go and see the skin doctors, because I think, I don't know, I've noticed a weird thing on my arm and I want to go and get that seen to make sure it's nothing nasty. And so I went and watered the garden, and then we haven't been grocery shopping for, I don't know, weeks. And the fridge was like Mother Hubbard's cupboard. Like when you opened it, there was just like some butter and a bottle of water, basically. It was really Mother Hubbard's cupboard. So I toddled down to the shops this morning and did a few loads of washing before I went there. And I thought the shop would open at 8, but it didn't open until 8:30, so I was stuck waiting. And then I ended up having to go to 3 supermarkets to get groceries, but at least we've got food now, because there were 2 nights that we had cheese and crackers with tomato for dinner, which I'm quite fine with, to be honest. I don't really need to eat a big dinner. It's not like I do anything. I just sit on my butt for most of the day. So it's fine for me, but for David that does a lot of physical work, he needs something a bit more substantial. So tonight I'm going to make him some Italian meatballs and spaghetti, and that should keep him going for a while, make him happy. So we've got a lot of vegetables in the garden at the moment, so I didn't really need to buy much there. I've got so many lettuces, it's not funny, and tomatoes. I've got cucumbers that are coming up and corn that's coming up, but they're not ready yet. But the lettuces and tomatoes we've been eating for months now, and they're showing no signs of giving up, which is good. And in the garden we've got so many things in flower, but my favourite thing is the frangipani tree. And we bought that off Facebook Marketplace last year. and it had been in a pot, so it was kind of root bound, and we put it into the garden. And last year, oh, we must have put it the year before. Last year, I was waiting for it to flower and nothing happened, and I thought, this plant's a dud. I'm not going to get a flower off it. But this year it has flowered, and it's come out in the most beautiful bright pink flowers. They're really lovely. And when you go up close to it, some of the flowers are white and some are bright pink and some are light pink. So I'm not quite sure what type it is, but now I want a couple more because I think it looks a bit lonely by itself. So I want to try and find a couple more on around the local area. All the ones at the nurseries are a bit too small and they're a bit expensive, so if I can find a couple on Facebook Marketplace for a decent price, I'll be happy, because they look really beautiful and they look really nice by the pool. It kind of gives it that nice tropical look. I've got all these Christmas lilies that are coming out in bulbs that I planted. I think I planted those last year and they never came out, and so I've let them sit there for a year and now they're up in buds, so it'll be good to see what they do. I can't wait to see what they look like. And then when I was at the discount shop the other day, the reject shop in Australia, David seen this little display that they had hidden up in the pet section. And because I don't like to look in the pet section because we've got no little doggy to buy presents for anymore, I avoid that section. So he noticed that they'd put down all the bulbs in this whole section to $1 or $1.20 for a packet. So I think you know where this story is going. I had a whole basket full of bulbs, so many. They had to put another lady on the cash register because there were so many people waiting while I got served. And it ended up coming to I don't know, $60. So I must have got about 50 packets of bulbs. And I know you probably think that's a lot, but we have a really big garden and there's a lot of flowers that will fit in the garden. And next year it'll be better because I'll have the places to put them. This year I really didn't until the season was mostly over. So I am all sorted for bulbs for next year, and I've organised them all. I poured them all out on the dining room table. It's like a kid with a candy shop, me and flower seeds or bulbs. I had them all on the dining room table and I sorted them all into order so that which ones to plant and which season, and then I put them all into a container and put them all in alphabetical order and then in season order so that I knew when to plant them and all the rest of it. So I managed to get crocuses, irises, freesias, heaps more of freesias. I love the smell of them. Ranunculus, what else? Some other ones that I haven't heard of before called Narine. They've got like a pink flower on them. And I think, tulips. I think that's basically it. So I got several packets of each one. And I didn't take all of the bulbs. There was still plenty more left for other people. So I didn't completely wipe it out. So as well as the garden, we've had some more little native or wildlife. So I think I've told you before about our possum, and she's got a little baby. And we've also got the tree frog that hitched a ride from the state next door, New South Wales. And it's living here. And now we've got a bush turkey. So they're just like a wild turkey that just roams the streets. And I don't know how it ended up here, but it has. So I don't know. They must be looking for water or food. I don't know what the story is, because usually they're actually closer to the bush and we're a few blocks back. So I don't know why they've come to us, but it's lovely having them. So we've got the bush turkeys, and as long as we don't get anything that slithers, I'm quite happy. I'm always checking the garden to make sure that there is nothing slithering around in there, but because there are quite a lot of slithery creatures up this way, but usually they're closer to people that are by the bush and we're more in the suburbs, so hopefully we don't see anything that slithers. But so far I'm really happy with the kookaburras, the cockatoos, the lorikeets, the possums. the tree frogs, and of course now our bush turkey. So if he hangs around, I'm going to have to give him a name. I don't know what it might be. It might be, is it wild turkey, that drink? I don't know who makes that. Maybe I'll name him after that drink. I don't know. So I don't know if you guys have started to think about Christmas presents. I know in my colouring group some ladies had already said that they'd actually done their Christmas shopping, which just amazes me to be so organised. We only have to buy a couple of presents and we still haven't done it, so I don't really know what to get. This year, David's brother and his mother, one of his brothers, is coming up on Christmas Day, so they arrive here at lunchtime on Christmas Day. So last year they went to David's other brothers for Christmas. This year they're coming here, so it's going to be odd because usually we all used to go to David's family for Christmas, and then when his father died around Christmas, no one wanted to do that again, and his dad did all the cooking, so his mum is more of a hunt and kill your own type of lady. So it'll be really interesting. I'm not really sure what to make because David's mum is very funny, very picky, and doesn't like to eat a lot of things, and different things give her different reactions, so I can't use any spices or garlic or anything, so I'm not really sure what to make. And in Australia it's so hot that we don't do the turkey usually that I know our friends across the pond do. We usually do something colder or a barbecue or seafood, but I'm allergic to seafood and David's mum really doesn't eat much seafood, so I was thinking of going blast to the past, and I don't know what you think, but I was thinking of doing like a little prawn cocktail, and not with a 70s feel, give it a more modern vibe, and because she will eat a few prawns, but not many, and I just won't eat that. And then just doing like cold meats, cold chickens and ham and salads and stuff. And then the obligatory pavlova, which I hate pavlova. I absolutely hate it. I can't stand even thinking about it. I mean, I will eat it because I love anything sweet, but I really hate it and I hate making them. And one of the reasons I think that I hate making them is because I've had so many of them in my life. When I was a kid, my mother used to sell Bessemer, and I don't know if everyone's heard of this, but it was a cookware product that people bought on Party Plan, and it's actually a really good cookware product, and I wish I had some of the pots myself. But back in the olden days, you used to have a party, and people like my mother would come around and they would cook a dish, and people would be really impressed and they'd order it and they'd get paid a commission, like a MLM basically, like Amway, and there's so many of these companies. Anyway, she used to use the Dutch oven product that Bessemer made, and her party trick was to create a pavlova in them. And because I was only young, I had to go to all of these parties because there was no babysitters. And so I'd have to be stuck there every night eating pavlova. Now, for some people that might be a dream, but for me, oh God, years later, and I still can't stand the thought of pavlova. But the good thing is it's pretty easy, everyone likes it, and it's a good dish in Australia for hot weather. Well, my other alternative was a dish that's a mango and passion fruit crumble, which I really like, but I don't know if she would like it because I don't think she likes mangoes. I don't know. It's all very confusing. It's really hard cooking for people when they're very particular about what they eat. It's only been in the last few years that she'll eat chicken because she was always worried about choking on a bone. So I don't really know what to make. I'm at a loss. If she had her way, she'd just eat toast and jam, so I don't know really what to make. Anyway, so I'd love some ideas. If you've got ideas, please give them to me. For very fussy eaters that don't like spice, don't like garlic, don't don't really like anything with cream, and because she's got a stomach problem, she can't really eat anything with oils or creams or whatnot in it too heavy. So I don't know, not really sure what to make. We'll see. I guess I'll wait for your suggestions. And because they're coming up on Christmas, I got the electricians in the other day because she doesn't like the air conditioner. So I love the air conditioner. So I got the electricians to come in and install a couple of ceiling fans. So I got one in the lounge room and two for our outdoor patio, which usually there's a lot of breeze there, so you don't really need it. But sometimes it's a bit still, so it's good when it's a bit still. I also got them to put in the light for the pool. God, that's amazing. You turn the light on the pool now in the dark and it's just like bright blue. It's like an avatar pool. It's just fascinating. I've got to go in it at night and see what it's all about. But I got this ceiling fan installed in the lounge room for her, and I thought it wouldn't be that good. You know, I didn't think that the ceiling fan would make much of a difference. But to be honest, a lot of the time I've got the ceiling fan on and I've actually thought it was the air conditioner. And a few times this week I've thought it was too cold. So it's turned out to be a really good idea, and I'm glad that she's coming up, because otherwise I might not have put that in and might not have realised that it was such a really good cooler. It's really good, and it's only just a cheap ceiling fan. It's not like it's anything fancy. I just got it from Bunnings in the hardware shop, basically. It's not expensive or anything. More expensive for the guys to put it in. So what else have we been doing? Oh, this week I've been pretty busy because the people that live over the road, they've been here for 49 years, and they were the font of all knowledge. They told us all about the neighbourhood and what changes were made and who's who and all the gossip on everyone. Well, she got sick a couple of months ago, and so they decided to downsize and sell their house, and it sold after 2 days. They didn't even put the real estate sign out the front. It was already gone, which I guess is good for us because it means that people really want property in the area. So if we wanted to sell, I guess it's good for us. And because our house is a lot more modern and we've done a lot more work than their house. So anyway, we've been helping them because they're elderly. Even though they've got kids and their kids are our age, most of them aren't really that strong. David's really strong, so David's been going over there every time I see them in trouble if I'm looking in the garden and see that they're trying to move something that's too big for them. I'll send David over and he'll go and be Superman and lift it all up, and they think he's amazing, which he is. He's so strong, able to lift tall buildings with one hand. So yeah, he's been helping them a lot, and I've been taking the ladies shopping, and we went to coffee, and the day that they moved, she came over here and just sat in the cool while they were doing the move, because she's still recovering from her illness. And yeah, so that's sort of taken up a bit of time. One of the other neighbours organised like a little party type thing to say goodbye to them, and because they'd lived here for 49 years, there were so many people at this little party. Luckily, all the COVID measures aren't in place anymore because there were so many people coming and going. Yeah, so that was really nice, being able to say goodbye to them and also having the little party and whatnot. I haven't met the new neighbours. I brought them over some cold drinks the day that they moved in, but I still don't know their names or anything, and they seem to just come and go and you don't ever see them, so I don't know. They're like little ghosts, so hopefully we'll get to know them. But I really do miss the people that lived over the road. Every morning before she got sick, she used to walk past at about 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30. She'd walk past where I sit on my balcony, and we'd have our little chat, her on the street, me on the balcony in COVID times, and yeah, it was really good. And it's certainly very quiet without them. It's amazing the things that you miss, and we're so lucky since we moved to Brisbane, how lovely the neighbours have been. I just coloured that blue. I just kept going over that off camera, by the way. I thought it'd be boring if you kept watching me do the same thing, so I did the rest off camera. But anyway, I guess that's it from me. I'm going to finish this off screen, and I'll show you the final result because I did actually get it finished, and here it is. So that's it from me. Stay safe until next time. Happy colouring.